Hello martial arts school owners. Quick video, how to double profits within your martial arts school. Now, there's lots of things that you can do to increase, your profits here and there, but I always want you, my mentees, to think a lot more 10x. Now, I'm not talking Grant Cardone 10x, do 10 times more marketing, do 10 times more phone calls, do 10 times more lessons and that type of thing. I'm talking about this mindset up here and just making a few little tweaks on the highest value tasks that will have the biggest impact in your bottom line. Now, again, top line matters, of course it does, but it's the bottom line, the amount of money that you keep, the amount of money that you take home that really counts. So I'm just going to go through the top 5 things I would suggest to all my mentees to improve their bottom line. Now, just before I forget, if you haven't already invested in a copy of my book, I strongly suggest you do so. It's called How to Build a Highly Profitable Martial Arts School by me, Dervish Dervish. And again, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Please leave a comment in the comment section on other martial arts school videos you'd like for me to create. And again, if I can help you, I definitely will do. So stay around till the end as well, because the last one I think is definitely the most crucial one. So number 5 would be to continually improve your program. So again, now I'm not just saying offer more and more lessons all the time. You've gone from 4 days a week, now you're up in 7 days a week. You used to start lessons at 6, now you're starting them at 5.5, 4, and so on. Of course, bringing in things like that when the demand is there, when the active count is big enough, definitely. Because you don't want people being like sardines in your lessons. You want them to make sure, obviously, that they're being taught and obviously they're progressing each and every week, each and every month, and throughout the grades and so on. So continually improve your program. That might be to obviously layer on some more character development, layer on some more personal development, layer on some more life skills, layer on some more success quotes and success material and so on. Possibly have an exclusive area of YouTube videos just for students at certain grades or just in students certain programs. Offer additional seminars. Again, these, if you're adopting my principle, which was just to charge one monthly investment, which included everything: seminars, license, belts, testings, pre-grading tests and all that type of stuff, then throwing in an additional seminar once or twice a month will increase the value of the program. So again, there's lots of things you can do. Number 4, so counting down there, now I'd always be looking at how to improve your students' experience, so looking after existing students really. So what are you doing now at the moment for your, again, working through grades in karate? What are you doing for your yellow, orange, green, blue, purple 2 stripes maybe, all your brown belts, all your black belts and so on? So what are you doing for them? Are you just doing pretty much 2 lessons a week, 3 lessons a week, and you're turning up on time and you're delivering the best you can do? You've got to think to yourself, that's a basic requirement. That's what they're paying for anyway. So you turning up on time and you delivering the lessons, that's what they're paying for. But what else can you do to really, again, I mentioned this a lot in my book, go above and beyond? So how can you go the extra mile for your existing students? You want them to understand that you care, and your team, especially if you've got a team, that you care about them, that they're not just another brick in the wall, that they're not just a number, another stat. So always look after your students. Now, again, I understand some students going to need more looking after than others. That's the whole point of the education. That some people will be able to move on quicker than others. Some people will need a lot more work, but make sure you're looking after your existing students. What we should never do really is just throw them over the wall and concentrate on the next leads and the next enrollment. All right, so you don't want them to get buyer's remorse. You don't want them to think, oh, they're only bothered about white belts or yellow belts. As soon as you get to X belt, they're not really bothered. So make sure you're really looking after them. Point 3, really, choreograph your first and second lesson visits without a doubt. You need to stage manage that perfectly. So if you're, and again, if you've read my book, I mention this a lot in there. I think it might be in the guestology section. You can't just throw them into a class and hope they keep up. Obviously, that's what that's how I learned back in 1997 when I first started, and in 2004 when I opened up my first karate club. At the time, before it evolved into a decent martial arts school and business, that's all I did. I just threw them into lessons and just kind of hoped that they'd keep up. I'd maybe walk over to them and shadow them for a couple of minutes, maybe treat them like puppets where you're moving their arms and so on. Then I'd go and try at the higher grades again. Then I'd go back down to those. So you need to choreograph your first and second lessons. So your first lesson should, in an ideal situation, be what I'd class as a consultation, the intro, maybe in a separate area of your mats, maybe even a separate room, again with parents, guardians there, safeguarding and so on. But don't just throw them in. It needs to be an introduction to your program, really. It needs to be an introduction to your school. So are you doing a decent meet and greet? Are you making sure that you're asking them the relevant questions? Are you covering what parents and guardians need to see on the first lesson to really encourage them to come back for the second lesson? That second lesson, are you ensure that you and or one of your black belts or one of your brown belts, one of your junior instructors, one of your class helpers, class leaders, is continually shadowing them that lesson, making sure that they don't need any, or making sure that they don't feel embarrassed, or we've all been there where they look like they've got a rabbit in the headlights type of thing, and they're shocked because it's a lot different experience from the first lesson. So you need to make sure that you're continually choreographing your first and second lesson experience, and again, record them and watch them during teacher training. If there's only yourself, then it's perfect because you can make changes like that. And each change you should make, each tweak should make it more and more refined and improve your enrollment conversions and so on like that, really. So the second one, so second to last, really, follow up with leads. The amount of times I speak to school owners and they've got like a stack of leads, and I'll say, well, when did you contact them? And they go, well, on that day or 2 days later, but they haven't touched them since. People lead busy lives. So if you're dealing with parents and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children, what you'll normally find is the more children they have, the more busy they are because they're scattering around here, there, and everywhere. So you need to make sure that following up his leads is prioritized, definitely. So with my team, it used to be first hour jobs. We'd contact leads that come in overnight. We'd also contact leads that we hadn't managed to get base with for the past week. Again, not meaning to go too deep into this, but then when it went into the second week, we'd contact them twice over the next 2 weeks. Then when it went into the fourth week, we'd just contact them once. Then if not, they'd go on our email system and so on like that, and mail system. But you need to continually follow up with your leads. People, you might even, think of an example yourself now. You may have really wanted to do something, been super keen, but then life's got in the way and suddenly months have gone by and then that's it. Nothing's happened. But you still may want to do it. It's just, life's got in the way, something's happened, this has gone wrong, that's gone wrong, and you can't seem to get back onto it. But you need to follow up with your leads. Don't just think because you haven't answered the phone call once or twice or 3 times that they're not interested. If they'd put their hand up at one point and said, I'm interested, they're likely to still be interested. Now, unless you were slow on following up with them in the first place and your competition just got in touch with them quicker and now they're there. If that has happened, then learn from it, okay? So you need to follow up them as quickly as possible. And the most important thing, again, with every business, you should be attracting a new student and trying to keep them as long as possible. Those are the 2 key drivers of a business. But in a martial arts school, the schools that I talk to, 95% of them, 9 out of 10, are doing nowhere near enough marketing. Nowhere near enough. So we need to continually increase our marketing and track and measure the results of the marketing as well. So for instance, now, are you doing internal events, bring a friend events? Are you doing VIP passes where you're passing out passes, certificates, gift vouchers to existing students to encourage them to bring a friend down? Are you doing internal ball breaking events, again, where you're getting people involved? Are you doing graduations where you're asking them to bring a guest to watch? Are you doing paid advertising like Facebook advertising? Have you got a website with active SEO, search engine optimization, running? Are you doing Facebook ads? I've just said that. Google ads? Are you directly dropping leaflets into primary schools? Are you doing free taster sessions in nurseries, church groups, Boy Scouts groups, Girls Guides, primary schools again? Are you doing events where there's going to be people there in garden centres, summer fairs and so on? So there's lots of things as leads out there that if you can get in front of them, they're going to end up being business for you, okay? So I hope that was a beneficial video for you. Again, I'm going to mention it. If you've not invested in my book, I strongly suggest you do so. Not that I'm after the £2 or £3 that I get for you buying that book. Obviously, it's chicken feed. It's more so that you could learn from it, implement the strategies that I use to build up, obviously, my martial arts school to £30,000 to £35,000 per calendar month each and every month. And that was a single school. Wasn't a full chain or anything like that. It was a single school. So yeah, please leave us a comment if you do want any more videos or anything like that. But have a look at the channel. But I do need you to subscribe to the channel. So again, if you value what I'm saying, if you like it, then please subscribe to the channel, and I'll try to put more content out here for you. Good luck, everybody. Thanks, and take care. All the best.